can. That
Yeah,
is so true.
if you did have your own like cannabis cooking show, would it be more in the vein of like a competition style show, or would it be like a just a normal cooking show, just showing people new
I want
recipes?
it to be all about me, Mama. So no competition show here.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
It's crazy how you can hold it all together. If everything is aces now, tell me where your cards are facing down.
Hey everybody, welcome to Talk Culture. I am Kid Cadet. This week I am joined, you may know him from MTV's Wild and Out, or you may know him from America's Got Talent. He is Elgin David. How you doing, Elgin?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me once again. It's always fun to be a guest host on the Talk Culture show. We always have so many amazing guests. And today, I mean, it's no exception to what we usually do here. An amazing guest. So excited to bring her out. Kick it out. Would you do the honors, please?
It would be my honor. We are both huge fans.
And we've decided to keep the GoFundMe up and actually raise additional money now for, we're going to donate 5K to the Trans Wellness Center here in Los Angeles. And now for every additional 5K that we raise, we're going to be giving it to someone specifically to help them on their transition. You know, it's a really big importance to me to give back to people. I feel so lucky that I was able to raise so much money. And I felt like, you know, while we have people's attentions, what better way to continue to raise money and help others, you know, other people who don't have the platform like myself and don't have access to the funds that they need to be on their journey. So I'm really excited. I hope we can continue to raise lots of money for other individuals. And again, of course, $5,000 is going to be going to the Trans Wellness Center, which I'm sure they're going to use wisely to help other people. So very grateful, very humbled, and very happy.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
It's so awesome.
My gosh. Yay. Oh, that is amazing. And wow. So of course, like before we really get into it, we would be remiss if we didn't mention that you are now like the lip sync assassin. I think that I would like just tattoo that somewhere in your body. And it's 100% going to go down as one of the greatest lip syncs of all time. I think Elgin and I have watched it over 50 or 60 times now. It is like literally a show. So what has the feedback been like with you, you know, getting to come back and lip sync to Levitating?
Yeah, it's been extremely positive. You know, I gained over 100,000 followers, which was incredible from a 5-minute stint on TV. And I just really feel like the world finally saw me and my talent and wasn't, you know, overclouded with a lot of drama or catchphrases or things that maybe turned people off in season 6. They really just got to see me do what I do, which is dance. So I'm very grateful, again, just that, you know, there has been so much love and so much positivity in the last 2 months of my life. You know, since coming out as trans, I've just been nothing but supported. So it feels amazing. And it just feels like we're on our way to something even bigger and better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you are a beast on the dance floor. I know you auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance. I have a friend of mine who was also on the show. I auditioned too. I got axed because I was a b-boy growing up, break
Nice.
dancer. Yeah. So but I wanted to talk to you about your So You Think You Can Dance experience for just a moment, but also you're so funny. I wanted to know because like when you jumped out for your when you
Entrance,
jumped out
yeah.
and did the split, as amazing as it was, I was like, where does she get her comic sensibilities from? Because like your timing, I'm a stand-up comedian as well. Like you're so hilarious. Have you ever considered doing stand-up comedy, or like where do you get your comic sensibilities from? I'm really curious.
I've definitely considered it, but it's not something I think I'm quite ready to do. As brave as I am, I think probably the bravest people out there are comedians, waiting for people to laugh at you. That's an intense thing. So I don't think I'm quite ready for that. But I think my sense of humor, comes from my father, the way I was raised. I grew up in musical theater. I was around adults from a very early age. And I think that really informed a lot of who I am, how I interact with people. And also, I'm highly medicated. So I think that helps me be relaxed and be myself and just let the bullshit fly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you were a classically trained dancer as well. So you said you grew up in musical theater?
I did. Yeah, I went to an arts high school. But before that, I was in all kinds of, musical theater camps. And, pretty much from the age 7 on, I've been training. And, while I don't take class anymore, I pretty much took class up until 2000 and like 13, 14. Every now and again, I'll pop in a class. But yeah, I'm really lucky that my parents did support me and that they got me the training I needed to be the best. And that's why I got on So You Think You Can Dance not once, but twice.
Amazing. So, okay, and you mentioned musical theater. So is there a dream role like that you would love the opportunity to play?
Well, I'll be honest, I've played both of my dream roles, Frankenfurter and Rocky Horror and the MC in Cabaret. So I've played them both. I would love to continue to play them, sure. But yeah, I feel like I've also kind of wrapped up my musical theater days. I'd love to come back and choreograph for Broadway, absolutely. But I don't really see myself singing in a musical. Maybe if they do a rap musical, I could do like a Lin-Manuel kind of show.
Yes, I would love to see that.
Everybody wants to be part of one of his shows. Oh,
he's a genius.
Yes. He is.
Elgin?
Speaking about famous people, let's get into that. No, well, we've had some guests here on Talk Culture, and they've revealed that they're actually fans of yours. Ryan from Blue October, the band, mentioned he was a fan of yours. And we were curious, like, what's some of the most shocking or surprising person to say that they were one of your fans?
Well, I don't know that she's ever said the words, I am a fan, but Missy Elliott follows me on Twitter. So that was a pretty big moment for me. She's definitely left me heart emojis on things. So, hey, I'll take it. I feel like it's a good sign. That's one of my biggest heroes, inspirations in my entire life. So I definitely am still manifesting that I will be a feature on her track or vice versa. Who else is cool? I mean, Heidi Klum has been an incredible friend of mine. She and I met on Germany's Next Top Model, and then she gave me the chance to choreograph the grand finale in Germany because we filmed the first episode here in Los Angeles. So that was pretty amazing. And then she invited me back for her drag show called Queen of Drags, and I was the grand finale. I got to be a judge and close the show with my original single, Look at Me. So that was amazing, and I'm so grateful, for her support too. But overall, I feel like celebrity or not, I'm so supported by incredible artists out here in LA, like my best friend Robert Heyman. And, without those people, I really, wouldn't be able to do what I do.
Awesome. Wow.
Awesome.
Well, kind of just to pivot a little bit, we've been really fortunate to have other cannabis activists on our stream, like Tommy Chong and WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather. So we kind of want to know, like, if you're developing still actively your lifestyle brands, because we were reading a little bit about it on your website.
Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely are really focused right now on our fashion. And we've been launching different types of lines, so we released an assassin line that went with me obviously being on All Stars, but we've also released cannabis-centric lines that are mostly like patterns, right? So much inspired by Versace, Gucci, things of this nature. We've created our own patterns that I think are really beautiful and very wearable and speak to the queer stoner specifically. In fact, we're already working right now on Halloween designs. So I'm super excited that the brand is developing, and I hope to, expand that into paraphernalia and of course cannabis itself.
Yeah, you definitely have the perfect name for a strain of marijuana like that. The purple Urkel, and now we have the Laganja Estranja. I mean, like,
I'm ready
who
for it. It's only a matter of time and money.
Of course. Yeah. Talking about cannabis collaborations, with Doug Benson. I love Doug Benson, by the way. His
Yes,
show
I've been on his show. Amazing.
Yes. Is there somebody who you would like to collaborate with that you haven't had an opportunity to yet?
I mean, Snoop Dogg, of course, right? how could we not? I mean, that's definitely, I would love to be on Martha and Snoop. I think I would be perfect for that. So yeah, definitely hoping that I can collab with him and Martha for that fact.
Awesome. I love that. And so how much like in the process are you with like developing flavors? And is there like a pairing process, like almost like how you do with wine?
Yeah, I think every cannabis user is different. I am not a sommelier of cannabis. I will put anything with anything. I just like to get medicated them all. But I definitely know there are people out there who really, are cooking with cannabis, are making the right types of pairing with food and, different types of nodes. I was a judge on Chopped 420, so I learned a lot about food during the show, and I learned that I don't know a lot. So I actually have partnered up with Levo recently, which is this incredible machine that actually infuses your butters and oils for you. And because of that partnership, I've really been learning a lot about the kitchen and how to create my own food. And I'm not going to lie, I definitely would love to have my own cannabis cooking show for sure. This is, again, why I mentioned Martha and Snoop. I think I'm very much a housewife when it comes to that. So, many things are in the works. Many pitches are being thrown out there, but it is a tough industry, the entertainment industry. There's many, many, talented people here. So I've learned patience is key.
Absolutely.
Amen. That is so true.
If you did have your own like cannabis cooking show, would it be more in the vein of like a competition style show, or would it be like a just a normal cooking show, just showing people new recipes?
I want it to be all about me, mama. So no competition show here.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Point taken. This is great because I have a question about actually. We're still talking about cannabis. What is the strangest device that you've ever or apparatus that you've ever smoked out of or even come across in your cannabis days, so to speak?
I mean, probably like some tinfoil, like on a Starbucks cup kind of vibration. I mean, that or like a super rich, expensive piece that I would like never have access to. So I guess one of those two, but I can't say that there's like one piece that particularly comes to mind that I'm like, yo, that was strange. Like, again, I've smoked out of many, many things in my heydays. We've used Bible paper. I mean, we use the apples, all the things.
You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen.
Yeah.
I love it.
As long as it happens, it's not that weird, right?
No, they say stoners are the greatest innovators. You could turn anything into a pipe.
When we had Tommy Chong on, he had I guess he has his own lines of bongs, and he was testing one out right before he joined us, and I could tell you that it worked because he was having the time of his life, which is one of my favorite moments. He is just an absolute angel.
Yes,
okay, so just to pivot a little bit, we wanted to mention that it's almost your 10-year anniversary performing in drag, and what is something that you wish you knew then that you know now?
What is something I know now that I wish I knew then on Drag Race? I guess to just take a deep breath and be calmer. I think I've really, learned to be more comfortable in my skin and accept my truth. And, I think back then I was so young and just trying so hard to be, what they wanted or what I wanted of myself. And I think if I had just, relaxed a little bit more, A, I would have been funnier, and B, maybe the world, or not the world, maybe the US wouldn't have hated me as much.
What do you, I'm trying to think of the good way to ask this. Did you read a lot of the comments that people were saying, and like, how do you ignore the haters? Like, what's the best way? Because people feel the need to talk about literally anything. You know, it's like, oh, I'm wearing a smiley face shirt. You know, they don't like that, so they feel the need to say something. So
the comment section is always so toxic.
Yeah,
How do you deflect it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess A, I don't ignore it. I deal with it. B, I always tell people don't read them, but of course I don't do as I say. And C, I've just learned that, you know, people's opinions of me really don't define me, you know, and I've really realized this being trans because, you know, on occasion I will have people call me he, and not by accident. And I've learned that I really don't care because at one point, yes, I was. And two, what you're seeing isn't what I see. So I guess that just takes real love of oneself. And that's taken me 32 years to get here and be able to do that. But it is a very real and powerful thing. And I think, like I said, once you can really do that, it does open up the door to just be your best self and to not care so much about what others think. And that's something I've really had to put a lot of work into because I really did care for so long because I want to be likable. And I think that's normal. I think most of us go into life wanting to be well liked. I don't think even if we're rebels, we still want to have rebel friends. So, you know, I've just always been very vocal about that because I was raised by 2 high school counselors where I was told to talk about my feelings and not suppress things I felt, which in the end has been a really great thing. It's been a curse sometimes. I feel sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve a little too much, but for the most part, I think it makes me, you know, the inspiration to others that I am, because I am just so open and honest and willing to, you know, pretty much talk about whatever. I mean, truly.
Well, thank you for being you.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely a message that a lot of people need to hear. So thank you for that. Oh, let's talk current events, right? The Olympics.
Sure.
Have you been watching the Olympics at all?
I have not. I know what's going on with Simone Biles, of course, which I think is amazing that she stood up for her mental health, and I'm 100% behind that. But yeah, I haven't really been watching the Olympics. There's been no time. I just got back today from Boston. I was performing there last night at a nightclub called Legacy. I've also been filming a very extra special coming up that I can't really talk about due to contracts. But yeah, so I've been a busy woman. I haven't really had time to peep the Olympics like I normally do because I do love them. Okay, well, understood. Well, speaking of the Olympics, the reason why I bring it up, they're bringing so many new additions to the Olympics. Now they have like Big 3 basketball, and they have breakdances is coming in the next Olympics. Skateboarding is now in the Olympics. Yes. Like, it's so awesome, all the new additions that they're bringing out. And if they were to bring drag competition to the Olympics, who would be on your team? So team LAGANJA. Well, I mean, absolutely, because she's fresh on my mind from All Stars, Akira. I think she's amazing. I really love her, and I think her drag has just totally glue up. I also think I would definitely want some OG, like, heavy hitters from the original seasons. You know, my girls, Morgan Mayhem Miller, Delta Work. These are all girls that I work with all the time who I just really love. Mariah Paris Balenciaga, Tammy Brown. I mean, these are all girls that I love. My sister Gia Gunn, of course. But I guess it would also depend really on the challenge. Like, if it was a physical challenge, maybe some of those people I just listed, no. If it was like being funny challenge, maybe some of those people I just listed, no. You know, so I would have to really curate the right team depending on what was our criteria as drag queens to compete. Awesome. I hate to ask this because like it's so biased, but do you have a favorite to win this season of All Stars? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Kylie Sonique Love. I just think it's time, A, that a trans person is recognized and celebrated for helping make this art form what it is. B, I think she's killing it. I think she's just been, you know, so great, so gorgeous. She's shown such range in all the challenges. So yeah, she's my pick for this season.
a wonderful pick. And her looks this season are out of control. Like, she looks good. Like,
Yeah.
everybody does. Everyone does. But yes. Okay. So let's do one more question, and then we have a game that we're going to play.
Ooh, I love games.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. What do I want to pick? How about a question from the crowd? I'm not sure whether this person is saying in general or maybe from your season of RuPaul or All Stars, but who cracks the best jokes out of all the girls?
Oh my gosh. Well, so many of my sisters are hilarious. I mean, truly. Tammy Brown, who I mentioned earlier, is amazing. I also love Latrice Royale. She is always a good time. But the best jokes, I am going to have to probably give to my sister, Morgan McMichaels. She is a very witty queen on and off the mic. And I think, jokes to me means punchlines. And I think she really always packs the punch.
Good pick. And we love Latrice. I think she's a Miami girl, right? I believe I've seen her a time or two. Yeah, Elgin and I are Miami people. So yeah, I feel like
Tiffany Fantasia is a very good friend of mine.
Oh,
I love Tiffany.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you have to tell her LaGanja said hi.
I will. We actually, Tiffany, Elgin, and I did this stand-up class together, and Tiffany got to close the show, and like it was a moment that I wish I could live in forever. It was so brilliant. She is a genius.
Yeah,
anyway.
she's hilarious.
Such a kind soul.
Yes,
absolutely.
She's amazing. All right, so we have a game. This is a game. This is a game of Would You Rather. There is no wrong answers. You can pick whichever one you want. If you want to elaborate on why you pick something, that's fine. So, Elgin, you want to go first?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, LaGanja, would you rather lip sync to only Kids Bop songs or lip sync to only Norwegian death metal?
Definitely lip sync to only Kid Bop songs. Yeah. I'm gonna say the heavy metal, not for me.
Not for you.
Yeah, no.
And Kids Bop gets pretty creative. They know what they're doing.
I mean, I grew up in musical theater. A lot of that's very Kid Bop vibrations. So I feel like it would just fit. And if I had to do something forever and ever, amen, I just feel like the metal would drive me insane.
Fair enough. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather live in the universe of the last movie you saw or live in the universe of the last TV show you saw?
Okay, well, now this requires me to think of the last movie I saw and the last TV show I saw, after I smoked my joint. Okay, so the last movie I saw was Cruella.
Oh.
Which I really loved. I mean, the fashion was out of control, and I just lived. I loved the movie. Now, the last TV show I watched was called Feel Good on Netflix, which is about a lesbian romance and the struggles that go with it. So I'm going to absolutely go with Cruella. I'm not trying to live in a lesbian drama. I'm good on that, although I love the show Feel Good. It's an amazing show. I watched season 1 in one night. It's really, really great, and it's also just nice to see, lesbian representation on television. But again, if I'm going to pick a world to live in forever, I want to live in the world of Cruella with fashion. I think I would be, one of her muses, maybe.
Oh, 100%. Without question. All right, that's a good answer. All right, Elgin?
All right, here we go. All right, would you rather recreate the Rhythm Nation music video or recreate the Opposites Attract music video?
Well, don't hate me, y'all, but I don't really recognize this Opposites Attract video.
Okay.
I assume that's still Janet, yes?
No, that's Paula Abdul and MC Cool Cat.
Abdul. Well, yeah, then all the more reason I would absolutely go with Janet Jackson. I thought maybe this was a Janet on Janet question. Yeah, no, I will always pick a Jackson for sure. I am Jay Jackson myself, so it's like I'm picking my fam. And yeah, I mean, Rhythm Nation is iconic. Are you kidding me? I feel like I would slay that. I've actually always wanted to do that, but it just requires so much, and I just haven't found the want just yet. But I think maybe one day I will, because it is such a moment.
You should.
Agreed. I would love to see that too.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather always have to talk and rhyme or always sing speak?
Oh, this is a hard one because I do both of these things naturally.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm sad that I have to choose between both of these because I like doing both so much. But I'm going to say that my singing voice is not as strong. So I would go with always talk and rhyme because that's fun anyway.
That's true. I like how you also sorted it out. That's
Yeah.
I like the process. All right.
No, I'm taking it really serious, this game.
I see that. I see that. All right. Next one.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Would you rather develop a never-ending gobstopper style gummy or develop a gummy that satisfies flavor profiles of a 3-course meal?
Ooh, a little Willy Wonka throw. Wow. Again, I'm liking both options. Sad I have to pick here. I feel like there's going to be more longevity in a never-ending gobstopper because it's never-ending. Whereas once we discover the 3 flavors, like we can only really then just switch the 3 flavors of the gum, and I feel like that doesn't really leave as much room to grow as a business. So I think the never-ending, is the way to go.
Okay. I agree.
I knew she would pick that one.
Yeah.
I predicted this. I said, who wouldn't want a never-ending edible gummy?
Right.
Who wouldn't pick that?
Exactly.
And then you get the munchies, and then you eat the gum.
Perfect.
Perfect.
There you go. There you go. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather listen to peanut butter for 24 hours straight or listen to Cha Cha Bitch on repeat for 24 hours straight?
This one's easy. Peanut butter, hands down.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Cha Cha Bitch. No, I'm tired of that. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's a classic.
It is. Next one.
Oh, okay, cool. Superpowers. Would you rather have X-ray vision or have the ability to read minds?
Oof. This one's hard because at first I'm like, well, who wants X-ray vision? Like, that's no fun. Like, what is that really going to do for you? And then you're like, of course I want to read people's minds. But then when you really start to think about it, you're like, do I really want to know what everyone's thinking? Or is it that I just have the ability to, so I can tap into it, which is how I think it is worded. So I'm going to choose the ability to, because it doesn't mean it's necessarily happening all the time.
Right.
Mhm.
As long as I can turn it off. Because if it's all the time, then no, I'll take X-ray vision. I don't want to know all the time. But to have the ability to, I think, yes, that would be very interesting.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah,
All right,
that would
I
be
think
annoying if it was on all the time.
all the time. Yeah, I know. All right. I think this is the last one. And also one of
Okay.
my favorite graphics of all time. Okay. Would you rather be the first person to death drop on the moon or be the first person to smoke on the moon?
Yeah, I'm going to say smoke. It's easier on the body. And, I'm not trying to do all the dips up there in space.
Okay.
I think
Smoke
gravity
it is.
would not work for me,
Fair.
Yeah,
I'm still obsessed with that graphic though.
it is hysterical. Both of
what-
them are equally hysterical. Or hysterical, as I like to say.
There you go.
Love it. Okay, so before we wrap this
That
up,
was great, you guys. I loved that
Oh,
game.
Thank
so
you for
much.
playing.
I loved it.
you win. I hope that this isn't. I don't want to get political, but I do think this is a fair question. What do you think of the idea of Caitlyn Jenner running for governor of California, and would you vote for her?
Look, this is how I feel about Caitlyn Jenner. I'm very grateful for her and for what she has done for the trans community. I really feel like, as someone who also has come out later in my life, she gave us representation. She started conversations. However, I don't agree with a lot of her more Republican views. So I don't think she would be a great governor, in my opinion. And I most likely probably wouldn't vote for her. But again, never say never. It depends on, what she put on the docket, what she really, got behind. From what I know, I don't think we have a lot of similar views on how people and economics should be treated. So yeah, I think for me, probably a no.
Probably no. Gotcha. Well, we have
I got one more.
Oh,
No,
go
no,
ahead,
we have
OJ.
not come to the end. I got one
What?
more.
Go ahead.
What is the secret to the perfect death drop?
Well, first I have to correct y'all on the terminology. The move
Yes,
is
please help
please.
us.
The move is actually called the dip. This
The
is
dip.
something I learned after, RuPaul's Drag Race, from the ballroom community directly. So I think it's just super important that I mention that, because I want to
Thank you.
always honor them, the people that came before us, specifically those of trans and of color, who really made it so that we could have all these great moves and this lifestyle and vocabulary. So the secret, though, to doing it is different for every person. Mine is being medicated, and using opposing weight distribution. So the fact that I'm sending my head away from my foot at an equal distance amount allows me to fall perfectly centered and not really, land on the foot more or land on the back more, but really land evenly. So that's how I do it.
Elgin, have you ever attempted a dip?
A dip? I'd probably blow my knee out. Probably no. It wouldn't work for me.
Okay.
Again, yes, ACL surgery. Thank you
Oh,
for bringing that up.
Sorry. Well, no, thank you for correcting us, because this is, obviously a learning experience, and I want to learn everything I can. That's why we're on this earth. And that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was called. I always thought the dip was that song from back in the 90s.
Dip it low.
When I dip, you dip, we dip. Put my hands up on your hip.
Oh.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Also a great one.
Yeah. Classics. Well, before we do wrap this up, is there any final thoughts that you want to leave us with here today?
To just continue being sickening. Have a great rest of your day. Smile, hug a neighbor, get vaccinated if you haven't. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. We are dropping 2 new episodes tonight of Muse Me Season 2. You can check out Season 1 for free on my YouTube. And come on over and subscribe and see what we're up to.
Awesome. And we're going to go over our upcoming guests that we have for the next couple weeks. I can't believe it's almost August. This year is absolutely flying by. So next Tuesday, we have the fabulous Alicia Taylor. We are also welcoming Kyle Kinane, Karen Carnival from The X-Files, wrestlers Levi Cooper and Chelsea Green, and we're welcoming back Greg Proops. We're actually having him, LaGanja, because he wanted to come back also to talk about Rocky Horror Picture Show, which, it's just universally amazing. But thank you so much
again.
An amazing
lineup, you guys. Thanks for having me.
This is such an honor, and
awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I'm so excited to follow you on all of your journeys. And until we meet again.
Yeah, see you guys next time.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Au revoir.